Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's live webinar. Welcome to Azusa Life Academy's first ever webinar, where we'll be having Dr. Edward Sunday. We'll be having Dr. Edward Sunday take us through introduction to FOH, mixing practices, and strategies. So just a few instructions. Thank you. I hope you all are having a great day and you're ready to be, you're ready to have an exciting time. All right, so please, just a few instructions before we start the webinar. Please, everyone joining in, kindly use the chat room for communications and most especially to pin down your questions. So everyone joining in, please mute your mics and also mute your audio and close your video so that it will just be only Dr. Eddie that would be able to share his video. So this is for you to just listen in. And if you have questions, please leave your questions in the chat and I will get to it. My name is Phoebe and I'll be the admin on this webinar and I will get to it and pick. So for this webinar, Dr. Edward Sunday is the convener for Azusa Life Academy. I know a lot of you, for you to have joined this webinar, that means that you know about the upcoming academy. And today we're just going to be having a webinar to just give you like an introduction, just a few tips to get you started. And also would also be giving you information about the academy at the end of the webinar. So please stay till the end and ensure that you're in a quiet space so you don't miss out any of the information. Please confirm that you can hear us in the chat so that we know that you can hear. All right, so thank you all for joining. And I'm going to hand over to Dr. Edward Sunday to take over from here. All right, thank you very much. So he's going to be taking us through digital mixing strategies, building a mixing workflow. So please be respectful, participative in the discussion. And we're going to be only taking the top 3 questions. And be rest assured that if we can't get to all your questions today, definitely in the academy, when you join the academy, we would answer all of your questions. All right. So please welcome Dr. Edward Sunday, the convener of Azusa Life Academy and our facilitator for today. Is the CEO of Azusa Productions as an award. Please turn on your video so we can.
Hi. How are we doing today?
We're good, sir.
I hope we're good. Nice having you guys here today, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so briefly.
Please, everyone, turn off your videos. Turn off your videos. Only Dr. Edward should have his video open. Please turn off your videos so we can easily, to avoid network glitches. Turn off your video, please. Thank you very much. Over to you, sir. Sorry about that.
So like I said, you're welcome, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Nice having you guys here. For you to be here, it means we want to move everything we know from light sound production and production to the next level. So all of us are learners, including me. I don't know anything. We are all learning. But I believe is that the mind that is prepared is always learn. And that's why I want to appreciate you guys for joining me on this evening. So because we don't much of the time, so I want us to quickly go through what we have for today. So the basic thing we're talking about is basic knowledge of digital practice of FH practices. Okay, so what I will do is I will put them together. We have to, so I will try and put both of them together. The basic knowledge of FH. building a meeting workflow. So I'll start like this. If you are doing any event or you have to do any event as a sound engineer or as a sound producer or what have you, the first thing you need to do is recce means you have to go to the contractor to do this or your church. So the first thing you need to do is to do the recce. So that recce, what it means is okay, this the volume is low. Okay.
Hello, sir. Your volume is quite low.
Low.
So if you can help us turn up the volume
Okay.
or move the mic closer to your.
Is it better now?
Yes.
Is it better now?
Yes. Please.
Okay.
There's
Great.
a few glitches.
Okay. Is it better?
There's a buzz noise.
Okay, buzz. Let me check. Is it better? Is it better now?
There's a lot of glitch and noise.
A lot of glitch and noise. So let me see where that is.
Yes, now it's better now. It's better now.
Okay, it's better now, right?
I think from the network, or we can turn off the AC if we.
Okay. Is it better?
Yes, please, can you all confirm if you can hear him in the chat, please?
Is it better? So let me know. It is better now.
Yes, better on my end. Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, better, yes. Okay. Okay, better now. Okay, good. So as I was saying, if you have been maybe called upon to do an event that's to do with sound, or you are okay, maybe you're first, I know what. The first thing you need to do is recce. So what recce means is you have to go check out the venue, so for possible problems and obstacles that you can have at the venue. Hello, what you say? Okay, at the venue, some possible problems you can have at the venue. So that has to do with looking at stage where your effort is facing. You know, if you are going to barricade, if you have walls around, the venue okay, so let me one step. One. Okay. One step. Please confirm for me if the volume is okay now.
Hello, sir. Please, you are not audible. Can't really get you.
Okay. Okay, let me check it. Okay, so can you hear me now? Is this better?
Yes, sir. This is far better.
Far better. Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate your response. Can you see what this does? So that is the work of a sound engineer. So let's assume you are in an event and you have like 20,000 people. You have like 20,000 people that you're actually catering for. You know that you have your FOH speakers facing directly at the people, and you have to be at the center of it, right? So now, and you have delay. You have delays maybe at the other far right and outfields at the other far left. So now, what happens if the event is going on and those speakers are not working? So you need an ear. You need somebody that can work with you, that can tell you, oh, the speakers over there, they don't have signal, they are not working. You understand? So that is what we've just done now. I appreciate everybody. That was a good one. That was a good one. So let's continue. So I said, if you want to do any event like that, the first thing you need to do is to do recce. So recce is you going on site, you going on site, checking out the venue you have to use for the event, checking out for possible problems. I mean, things that can pose as problems for you. Let me give you an instance. If you go to, if you're doing an event in maybe a piece of land that has buildings surrounding it, or that has building that your front of house speakers will face, you know that automatically you have slapback. Slapback is if you are saying something, you say hello, it will hit that surface, it comes back at you. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. So you check out for so many of those things. You know that, okay, because of this, we can't put the stage here because of this slapback. Okay, we'll do this. So that's why recce is very important. Then another thing is you'll be able to do your system selection. You know that for this event, because it's an outdoor event, I'm using so and so speakers. For this event, it's an indoor event, so I'll just use so and so speakers because I don't need this, I don't need that. Then you'll be able to know how many power you need. For this event, I'll need, because I'm running an event for about 10,000 people, So you can say for this, I will need so amount of highs and so amount of low in my power. So if I'm doing an indoor event for about 1,000 people, so I can say, okay, for this, I will need this. For this, I will need that. So now, you knowing your gears that you want to use for your event and the power you want to push for that event is very key. They can't call you for an event. There was one of my guys that went for an event that they didn't tell him that they were having too much. I mean, a number of people just told him that, okay, maybe about 2,000. On getting there, he had over 15,000 people. And he went with just four tops per side. You understand? So, and subwoofers 4. How will he do that kind of an event? So if he pushes his sound, those things, the boxes will get bumped. You understand? Because there's no way you push it and people over 15,000 people will be able to hear. So you need to know what you're doing. Talk to your clients. You need to know how many people are you catering for. Okay, this is an outdoor event. This is an outdoor event. Is it just for 1,000 people, for 10,000? So if you have that, so what I do is, if I'm doing catering for about 1,000 people, I go a bit overboard. So if I'm doing for 1,000, tell me that these people, they are 1,000, I do for 2,000. I've done an event that they told me that the people that are coming are around 20,000. At the end of the day, for that event, we had over 40,000 people. Thank God that I actually prepared for them. I had speakers flown everywhere. So with that, in fact, they were even saying, wow, that I had to put off some speakers that I put at the back, about 16 boxes of array. So those are the things we need to know. We must be sure we know them and get all our information very well. So another thing we'll do is system tuning. After your system selection, system tuning and optimization. It's not all sound engineers that can tune their systems. Some people, theirs is just to come and mix. But some people like us and some other good guys are given to details. So you need to know what you want to hear from your highs. You need to know what you roll into your highs. You need to know some frequencies you roll off from your tops. Okay, you need to know some frequency you roll off from your tops. Then you need to know the kind of frequency you send into your lows. You need to know where to cross your low frequency. At what frequency do you cross the signal that is going to your subwoofers? So those are the things you need to know. So when that one is sorted, then you can optimize your system, make sure that your system is well tuned. Now, another thing we need to do is we need to tune your system. You need to tune your system for the venue. If you are, okay, for instance, if you are working in a venue, like let's say a hall that is not acoustically friendly. So you need to be able to tune for that hall, the frequency, so that when you put out your sound, it does not sound as if, what is this? You understand? Because each hall, they have their own peculiarities. Each venue, they have their own peculiarities. So you should be able to understand that tuning for that, or tuning your system, will actually make a big deal. So there's a point that you push up your mic and it sounds as if it's not the same mic you use. Be the same mic, same system, same board, but the environment is different. So that's why we need to tune and optimize very well. The other thing I jotted down is understanding your gears. You need to know your gears. If I'm using my system and I put my volume up to, let's say, -5, and you tell me that you can't hear, I put it to -7, tell me that you can't hear. I don't have to push it up to -10 before I know there's a problem. I will tell my guys, go and check there's a problem. So what it means is there might be a problem in that line, in the cable, there'll be a problem on the DI, there'll be a problem on anywhere on that line. So they have to check through. And there's one thing that most people run away from, that is troubleshooting. Me, I don't run away from troubleshooting. I love troubleshooting, because if you troubleshoot some problems that might want to come, on the way, that might want to say, okay, this one will come, this one will come. By the time you've done your troubleshooting, you discover that most of them, they won't even surface at all. If you hear anything, you know that, okay, this is coming from here, this is coming from here. So with that, you can actually sit down and make sure that everything is fine. And what I do is, before, for my setup, guys run, we do a setup, we do everything. I make sure I set up on time. So by the time we're doing the event, in fact, guys, everybody can go and sleep. You can go to sleep, because all the stress, you've done it before the event. So you don't have to stress yourself during the event again. So that one is very important, understanding your gears. You need to know your gears. They need to know the kind of gears you use. So you need to know the kind of gears you use for each application. Now, if you are recording, let's say, guitar, you need to know the kind of mics you use. If you are doing vocals for outdoor, you need to know the kind of mic you use. If you are doing for indoor, you need to know the kind of mic you use. There are some mics that, if you are doing just maybe acoustic instruments that does not have loud sound, drums and everything, those mics are very good. But if you are using loud instrument like drums, acoustic drums, everything is loud, if you use those mics, you'll be shocked that you won't even be able to hear anything, because your mic will pick up everything coming from the instruments. So those are some of the things you need to understand. Then your workflow, your worksheet, you need to be able to arrange it very well. So now you've tuned your system, you know your system, you've done your recce, your system is good already, then you're good to go. Another thing you need to know that makes your work good in this workflow is your input list. You need to know all your input list. You know, to know that my fader 1 is this, my fader 2 is this. So if you know that my fader 1 is this, anytime at the back of your head, you know that my fader 1 is, you don't have to think about it, you just go there. Then your arrangement too. The way I do is, the way I do my thing is, I love arranging my space or my workflow in such a way that if you see it, it's appealing. So I start with my drums. So that one actually informs my input list. So I start with my drums, my kick out, my kick in, my snare top, my snare bottom, my hi-hat, then tom 1, tom 2, floor toms, overhead 1, overhead 2. So with that, I have already like 12 lines for my drums. So they are together. So I know that on my workflow, I have these drums first. So as I've done that, so I will go to my DCA, patch them on a DCA. So I know that if I want to, maybe in the mix, my drums needs to have some body, I need to push it up. I don't have to go to the fader and start touching kicks and everything. I'll just go to my DCA and bring up the one for the drums. Or another thing I do is I put the kick in and kick out, I put them on a DCA. Then all the remaining parts or elements of the drum, snare top, snare bottom, hi-hat, tom 1, tom 2, floor by left and right, I put them on another DCA. So that means DCA 1 goes for my kick in and kick out. DCA 2 go for the other elements of the drums. So with that, if I need some more kick in the mix, I just go to that DCA push If I discover that, okay, the kick is good, but I need some bite, I'll just go to the kick and bring it up a bit. Okay, the kick is too much, I'll just drop the kick, the kick out a bit. So with that, I know where to go. Everything is self-explicit. So with that, anybody that is even coming to say, okay, yeah, let me look at what you're doing. Yeah, come and sit down, come and do this. They can see through and they can navigate anywhere. So with that, I know that from there, I move to another thing. I move to my bass. On my bass, I do the DCA too. My guitar, I do the DCA. The reason why you need your DCA is so that in the mix, you don't have to start going to your individual channels and start increasing this, start increasing that, start doing this. You just go to your DCA and adjust anything you need to adjust. So this one is very important because we need to understand, if you know your input list, then your structure element is nice. So it gives room to everything you have to do. Your backups, arrange them together, soprano first. If I'm using five sopranos, soprano 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, alto 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, tenor 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I arrange them together. Then I do my DCA alike. So if I want to push up tenor, I know where to go. Alto, I know where to go. And before I do my DCA, I'll make sure I'll check them one by one. For instance, check soprano 1, balance it, pan it. Check soprano 2, balance it, EQ it, compress it, do everything I have to do on it, all my processing, pan it. So if I'm doing soprano, if I'm doing 4 sopranos, soprano 1, pan a bit, soprano 2, soprano 3, soprano 4. So with that, I can still, because of my stereo field, so that I don't have everything coming up from the center. So with that, I make sure that, okay, the sound is clean and it's good. Then I check their levels. That soprano 1 is not louder than soprano 2. 3 is not louder than 4. So this brings me to gain staging. Most people don't understand what gain staging is. You need to know what gain staging is, because your signal that is coming into your line through your preamp that is coming into that line, you can actually drop the signal that is coming in. So that makes it that the noise to signal ratio will be too much, or you gain it up, you crank it up, not to the point that it will be clicking red. No. So you crank it up so that it's loud enough, it's not clicking red, you still have your grain very good. So with that, your signal to noise ratio, so your signal to noise ratio is higher. So with that, you won't hear any buzz or any noise from that line. So with that, I do that first on all the lines. So before checking, you need to check your gain. You understand? Check your signal that is going to that line. So make sure that your gain staging is right. So when that is done, so the next thing is to now check your maybe work on your EQ, work on the processing, your compress it. If you need to get it, do everything you have to do. So then you have your level, which for me does not even get up to 0 on my fader. So with that, I can balance up everything. So if I balance soprano, so most times if I tell them to do, okay, I'm doing sound check. Okay, I'm just checking, I'm just doing the line check the soprano, check all these ones. If I require come to sing, so most of the time I don't balance again. They sing, everything is well balanced already, because I will have done the balancing and the panning and everything while I'm setting up everything. So for me, if you can get that, I'm sure that you are on your way to having the mix of your dreams. Yes. So arrangement, then gain staging, input list, then routing. Another thing I will talk about is routing. So you need to understand how to route on your board. You need to know that, okay, this is my board. Okay, where do I want this to go? Where do I want this to go? So you know that, for instance, you are doing, you have an orchestra, let's say about eight man orchestra. Okay, what are you giving them? Are you giving them ears? Are you giving them just one mix, or you are giving them monitors? So if you are giving them monitors, so you are sending, so you have a dedicated auxiliary for them that you can send pulse for them, that you can send their signal to, patch them to. So that one is there. Do you want to give them one mix, or you want to give them 2 mixes, or how many mixes do you want to give them? So another thing is, you have your, like I said, you have your 15-man band, singers, 5 sopranos, 5 altos, 5 tenors. So now you can say, for this, okay, let me do 5 sopranos. On my 5 sopranos, so I'll give them a mix for the soprano. Alto, I'll give them another mix. Tenor, I'll give you another mix. So what it means is for my soprano, because they are the main owners, let me put it that way, they are the landlord of that mix. So they tend to have the larger share. So the altos comes there too, but they won't drown the soprano. Tenors to come there. On the alto, they are the landlord. Soprano comes there, they won't drown the alto. Same thing with the tenor. So anybody that has that boss is the landlord of that boss. So with that way, we can understand very well. So if you put it that way, so any other person that comes in can actually get a feed from it. So having said that, I think let me see, I think I have something else here. Okay, so I've talked about Reiki, system selection, optimization, understanding your gear, arrangement, gain staging, input list, routing. So equalization, gate and compressor. So some other things I will need you to understand is your signals. You need to understand the quality of each instrument. If you understand the quality of each instrument, you know that this instrument needs this frequency. This instrument does not need this frequency. So with that, you can be rest assured that if you know the characteristics of each instrument, your mixing is heading into perfection. So with that, you know that this is talking drum. This talking drum does not need this frequency. It needs this one. It needs this one. That's why talking drum will tell you, I need treble. You understand what the guy is saying? Not treble like that, because there's no auto antenna. So you say treble, you know that he's talking about high frequency really. Then I want it to be like this. I want it to be heavy. So he's talking about low frequency. So those are some things you need to understand. If you do it on each instrument, you know their characteristics very well. You just go there, just turn on the EQ, work on it, and release it, and just say, oh yeah, I'm good. You can have a bit of this, a bit of that. So it makes it, you know, better than, okay, airplay, you've not even done any EQ. Is what they hear that they will relate with. So if they hear something that is on EQ, they will say, no, I need it, but balance it first, EQ it first. Do everything you have to do before you release it out. So I can say, okay, yeah, it's okay. Or, okay, yeah, I like it, but can I get this? Can I get that? Then be sure that your instrument can actually hold what you have. Like, okay, for instance, a drummer or a talking drummer, they will need low frequency. So now, if you are giving them a system that does not have a subwoofer, you know that will be a problem. They'll be saying, okay, it's not heavy, it's not heavy. But if you have a system that has the low frequency, they can say, okay, yeah, it's fine. So just patch me on this song. And with that, we are good to go. So Phoebe, I hope I'll be able to do justice to this.
Okay, sir, thank you very much for that. I think the later part of the webinar of your points, we actually missed it because the internet was
Oh wow.
Or yeah, so from the input and output part.
Okay.
But because of our time, we have a question. We have a question for you.
Okay.
So follower Emmanuel just asked, how do you make up for panned channels in a stereo FOH system? Since not everyone in the audience would be able to enjoy the full stereo separation. I think she's talking about panning your channels and ensuring that everyone in the audience can enjoy the full stereo separation. How do you make up for panned channels?
Okay, so if I get what Fifolu is saying, I think it's talking about okay, if you have your drums for instance, you have your tom 1, you have your tom 2 and your floor tom. So you can say tom 1 is a bit to the right, tom 2 to the middle, then the floor tom a bit to the other side. So now, how do the people that are sitting at the middle appreciate that? You understand? So, well, there are two things we're actually fighting for. If you are working with a system that you have a broadcast mix separately, yeah, it works for you, because on the broadcast, yeah, they can use their stereo headphone. Anybody that has mono system too will be able to. So what I would say is, your panning, just watch your panning that is not to the extreme. Because if your panning is to the extreme, that means anything panned to the left will not even come out from the right speaker at all. So what I do is I just do about 25%, about 25%. So if I do 25% here, so that means I still have 75% going here. I have the 25% going here. So with that, if you are at the front of house, you'll say here. So because I don't do hard panning, you understand? So you'll still hear very well. Then for the vocals too, I don't do hard. So you still adjust a bit, just about 20%, about 20%. So with that, you will still hear, but the stereo image that I'm trying to create, you still feel the width of the sound and the stereo image, you'll be able to appreciate it.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So the next question, we're only going to be able to take 3 questions. So the next question, I think this other person that is asking what's the alternative name for DCA, I think the question is pretty straightforward. You can actually just Google it. So for, yeah, so for the next person, I think from Patricia Abutu, she was asking how to balance for a, you can ask, she's asking how can you balance for backup when a backup singer changes, maybe the dynamics changes from leading worship and it's a singer that changes their dynamics. So how do you balance the mix for such a singer, especially when you have prepared for sound check and then you now want to balance it for as they go along in the music? So I think that's what the question is.
Okay, so for backup you use for worship is different from praise session and service. Okay, so okay, for instance, if you have a mic for that's maybe a backup used for worship. Another thing I want you guys to take note of is singers and musicians, sometimes they can frustrate you if you're not careful. So you need to understand them and understand yourself. So you know that most of the time, if you are doing sound check, singers don't tend to sing the way they will sing at performance or at administrations. They tend to sing normally, sing low sometimes, so that you can gain them up, and musicians, so that when they are performing, they can be heard. So now that is one, and that's a given. But for your backup, now that's why it's always good to be able to write on your fader. So you know that this mic was used as backup for worship. And this mic now, we want to use it as lead, maybe in praise. So there's a way you just write it. You understand? You just write it, bring it up. Then there's a way you do it. So when maybe the person using the backup mic is the one taking the lead, or even if he's not the one taking the lead, but he's the one still taking the backup. But this one is now a praise song. You understand? Inevitably, if you do it, you don't have to stress yourself bringing down the volume, bringing up the volume. So you'll be able to listen out to, okay, the overall volume of all the backups. Okay, are the parts balanced? Is the volume of the DCA of the overall backup, is it okay or is it too loud? That's when you drop. That's when you drop or increase to test. Then apart, except if the person is using that mic, the backup mic as a lead mic for praise, that's when you have to increase the fader and make sure it comes up very well.
All right, thank you very much, sir. So for Damiloju, I'm sorry that I asked you to go and check Google. So for this year is just more like a group master but it's pretty straightforward. It's called digitally controlled amplifier, just a group master for. Yeah, so most of these things will be treated in the academy. So I think you need to sign up for the academy so that we can really take you through the process. So we'll go to the next final question because of our time. This is from Olayinka Samuel. He said, how do you measure the dimension of your event ground? I think so to know the amount of speakers that should be used, but I think he's talking about both the line arrays and the sub. How do you like speaker configuration? Then is there any software for this? So yeah, if you can quickly just touch on that. I know you.
Okay. So let me quickly touch on this one. I won't go in depth, but I'll just talk on it. Yeah. So if you are given a particular brief that you are catering for 10,000 people, there's a calculation you use. So there is wattage. Each person has so amount of watts. So now you calculate the wattage system is bringing. That your system has. So you can now say, for instance, let's say I'm catering for 10,000 people, and each person has 10 watts. So I can say 10 watts for each person, and I'm catering for 10,000 people. That means I need to supply something that is about 100,000 watts. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. So with that, we're able to calculate your watts for your tops, for your lows. Then you know that it's normal that if you're calculating the wattage for your top, you need to know the wattage for the sub that goes with it. If not, you just do your top, the sub, there will be low end in the mix, and the sound that people are hearing. And if it's outside, you need a ton of low, you understand, and a ton of high, tops that can drive very well, tops that are clean, not tops that if you speak into them, everything is just compressed, everything is just sounding anyhow. So you need to know that very well.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir, very much. All right, everyone, we've come to the end of the Q&A. So please stick around for important information concerning the academy. So thank you so much, Dr. Edward, for giving us this nugget. And I believe that everyone is excited about the things that they've learned today, and they would really love to learn more. So if you want to learn more, and the next step to take is to sign up for the academy. So the academy will officially be open as soon as this webinar ends. So for those of you who attended the webinar, this is a 6 weeks program. We've been talking about it. So the two programs in this academy, the two courses in this program is live sound engineering and concert production and management. So this is going to be a 6 weeks intensive program, and is a training certification program. So for everyone who wants to be a better live sound engineer, better concert producer, and all the things that we were unable to touch in this webinar would be covered in the academy. So please, I would like you all to confirm if you can see my screen, as I'm going to be sharing some information to you. All right, thank you very much, Esther. Please confirm that you can see my screen. All right, so first edition is going to be starting in April. I know you guys are excited. Please tell us that you're excited in the chats and let us know, because I'm super excited to have you guys here. And first edition is going to be starting in April. And the officially the cost fee is, the initial price for the cost fee is 100,000 Naira each. But now we're having early bird discounts at 85,000 Naira. So anyone registers before the 1st of April would be registering for 85,000 Naira each for each course. But wait for it. We have a very, very huge flash sale for you guys for attending the webinar. And as a thank you to you all for attending this webinar, we're giving you a 48 hours flash sale discount. So instead of paying for each of this course at 85,000 Naira, we're giving out each course at a giveaway price of 65,000 Naira. And if you're going to be taking the combined course, that means you want to do both live sound and also concert production. That means you can also get it for 120,000 Naira to participate in both courses. And this giveaway, this sales discount is only available for the next 48 hours, guys. So you have to be ready. And I'm just going to be sharing the link here. Yes, it's going to be available for the next 48 hours. After 48 hours, the prices will go back to the initial early bird discount, which is 85,000 Naira. So this is for you guys who are in the webinar. This is something, yes, for both. If you want, you can see it's very juicy. 120K for both of the courses. I mean, this is 6 weeks intensive courses, and this is a certification program. All right, so now this is the link to, now this is officially open. This is the link to, please confirm that you can actually see my screen, okay? This is the link to sign up and to register. So go to paystack.com/pay/webinar discount, and you would be able to register. Yes, I know a lot of you are like, wow, this is like a woof. Yes, so for the next 48 hours, you have this a woof to yourself. and it's limited access. So as from now on, I mean, it's already open. So go ahead to sign up right now. So if you have any questions, and and so many of you, I know definitely you've been receiving emails from us, but if you have any question, you can just reply the email, and I'm going to just all right, so I'm going to paste the link in the chat so we can all just copy it. So if you have any question, you can always reply the emails that we send to you. All right, and we would definitely reply you. Okay, so that's the link to payment. So it's www.paystack.com/pay/webinar discounts. All right, guys. So definitely, and also if you want to reach out to us, you can also just send us an email at info@azusalife.academy. info@azusalife.academy. That's our email, and then we'll respond to whatever questions that you have. Well, as soon as you sign up, you will be given, you'll be sent a biodata form to fill out, and we'll get in touch with you in. Okay, so for this discount promo, there is no payment plan, but for the early bird discount, there is a payment plan. For this discount promo, there is no payment plan. You have to just pay the 65,000 naira upfront for each course, or the 120K for the combined course. All right, so it's in the next 48 hours. But after 48 hours, the discount will go back to the early bird discount, which we're going to have a payment plan for that, for those who and then the payment plan would end before, which you have to complete before the academy starts on the 1st of April. All right, so if you have any more questions, thank you all for joining us, and please check your emails for further instructions. And for those who are saying they've not been receiving emails, please check your spam folders. Definitely, for you to have joined this webinar, you should have the 48 hours starts from now. As soon as we end this webinar, it starts from now. All right. Okay, so and it ends on Friday. So thank you very much. Please let's all say thank you to Dr. Edward Sunday in the chat for giving us for this opportunity. And I believe that you all have learned a lot, and then there was still more from where that came from. All right, so all you just need to do is sign up for the academy, and we will take it from there. So thank you all. Yeah. Thank you so much. God bless you all. We'll see you in the academy. All right. Have a lovely day.